Now, I want everybody to just take a moment and look at these small countries. Now, I want you to look at the populations of these small countries. Then I want you to ask yourself, why is it that these small countries have less population than the penal system of the United States? Why are we every year talking about mass incarceration, prison reform, but yet no one's doing anything about it? Hell, the presidents run their campaigns and always throw it in there. I'm going to do something about prison reform. Well, it's obvious if we're having a conversation about prison reform that we know it's wrong, so why is it so hard to fix? That's just a question. I don't mean to get off subject, but I just paid $4.21 a gallon for some gas. Anyway, that's one thing that we as a people, we do collectively. And when I say a people, I mean every race on the planet. We bitch and complain. Now, we can do that well together. But what we can't do is come together collectively and figure out how to fix problems. One of the things, though, that I want to talk about that can't be fixed, say what you want, but it can't be fixed, or at least not now. Eventually, we'll breed it out, but right now it just can't be fixed. And what is that? Racism. Now, I hear people all the time talking about institutionalized racism. Well, do I think that there's institutionalized racism? Absolutely. But it doesn't just stop with the institutions. Racism is in everything. It's in all of us. Well, how is it in all of us, you may ask? This country, in its inception, was built around racism. So if this country was built on the back of racism, then it's safe to say that racism is in everything. I mean, you are a product of your environment. We learn things based off of our environment. I want you to think about something. If a white man was to walk inside of a store and get into an argument with a Latino, Asian, or a black man, or a woman, and he calls that individual a wetback, a chank, a nigga, what you think would happen next? I can tell you. After that ass whooping, because he's gonna take an ass whooping from all minorities in the store. Because we'll join together when it's something like that. You know, the Latins, the Latinos, the Asians, and the Afro-Americans, or the Africans, period. We'll form together when it's something like that. Because at that point, we have a common enemy. So he's going to wear an ass whooping. No one's going to go to jail for beating his ass. Unless, of course, you use a weapon. He's going to be on the news. And they're going to raise holy hell about what he said out his mouth. Not about that ass whooping, but about what he said out his mouth. And y'all know this to be true because you don't watch that play out over and over again throughout history. But now, take me for instance. If I go in the store and I get in an argument with a white man and I call him a cracker, what happens to me? One thing we know for a fact, I ain't wearing no ass whooping. And ain't nobody gonna try to whoop my ass. I'm not gonna end up on no news. And all the minorities that's in the store are gonna be behind me 100. Why is that? Why can I do it, but he can't? Understand something. We wear, and I mean we, minorities, that racist badge on our shoulder. Some with pride. Now there are two different forms of racism. There's a racism that's built around hate. That's the one that the minorities had to endure from the white man. And there is racism that's built around ignorance. Now, you minorities, that'll apply to you. Half of you don't even really know why you're racist. The majority of you don't even realize that you are. That's ignorant. Because if I feel like I can say cracker or honky out my mouth to them and they can't say nothing to me, that's just ignorance. Now, do I think all white people are racist? Absolutely not. Matter of fact, I don't think the majority of them are racist. I have white friends. And again, that's why anytime we use those racial slurs, we're ignorant, because the majority of you use it, but smile and joke with whites, your friends you call them, at the same time. That's ignorant. That's why it's ignorant. So, again, do I think all of them are racist? Absolutely not. But the problem is the ones that are. They're like the chameleon. They can hide in plain sight. One of the places they hide is in the justice system. The police forces. See, and that in itself is a problem, because most police, when they get that badge on and get that gun on their waist, have you ever held a gun? Have you ever had it in your hand and shot it? You ever felt that energy? That energy of power, that elusive energy of power that you feel from holding that gun. Makes you feel strong, makes you feel invulnerable. Imagine how they feel when they get that badge and that gun on. They talk nasty to people when they get that gun on and that badge. Now, is all police bad? Nope. Do we need police force? Yes, we do. Because laws do have to be enforced in order for us to make it. Think about it. If we have no laws, then all we have is chaos. Dog eat dog. And a lot of people won't survive that. So yeah, we need it. But again, you have those chameleons that are in there. There should never be a time that two white cops pull over a minority. There should never be a time that two black cops, which this will never happen, pull over a white man. But that'll never happen. I mean, I'm gonna be hard pressed. I done been out here maybe a year and a half, going on 2 years, and I have not seen a white person pulled on the side of the road with two cops. One standing beside the car, looking inside their car, while the other one is standing there acting like they're on their side of, we just wanted this and we just wanted that. Never seen it. But now what I do see is two white cops pulling over blacks, two white cops pulling over the Latinos. Haven't really seen many Asians getting pulled over. Not saying that they don't, but I've seen this. There should never be a time the two cops are pulling over no minority. If you pull over a minority, then a minority should be present in a law enforcement uniform. But then, think about the minorities. They really get on the force to do the right thing, and they listen to their counterparts tell them, hey, there's no racism in here. We don't see black, white. All we see is blue. They got their brotherhood. So these minority officers, they jump right in, become a part of the team. And you ask them, is there racism inside the police department? They're gonna tell you no. At least the majority of them gonna tell you no. Some of them will admit it. A lot of people don't know this about me. Over a year ago, hadn't been out a year yet, I went to Advance Auto and picked up some oil changing material because I wanted to change my oil. On the way home, I wanted to smoke me a blunt, or at least tap it. So I stopped at a store to roll up, just to roll up real quick and hit it, because my dad's a minister. And one thing I'm not gonna do, even though my views are different, I'm not gonna disrespect my father's house. So I stopped to roll up. Once I finished rolling up, I pulled off. As soon as I pulled off, because I'm right by the neighborhood, I realized that I don't have a oil filter wrench to pull that oil filter off if it's too tight. So I turn around to go back. Now, when I pull out of this, when I turn around to go back, I'm at the red light. I look across, there's two officers at the red light facing me. I'm paying them no attention because I'm not doing anything. I'm chilling. I go through the light. There's this old beat up car behind me with a 30-day tag on it that I know is fake. They shouldn't be on the street. But since they came out and said, we're not gonna pull people about their tags no more, this is what people do now. No insurance. Putting everybody else's that actually have insurance in danger. So, again, I'm not paying no attention. So I go ahead and go on through the light. They make a U-turn in the intersection and get behind their car. I'm thinking that they got to be on their car's line, not mine. I'm never thinking they on mine. But midway down the service road, they swing around this car and get behind me and turn their blue lights on. Of course, I'm thinking to myself, like, why am I getting pulled over? The tag's good, not speeding. Like, what is this? So I pull over. I'm trying to obey the law. a law that was never designed for me. So these officers, when I look in my side mirror, I see a bunch of white officers behind my car or behind their doors of their cars with their guns pulled out, pointing them at me. Of course, this pissed me off. So they're yelling at me, get out of the car. My hands are already hanging out of the car with my wallet in my hand, because again, I don't know what's going on. I am yelling at them like, what is the problem? Like, is this really necessary? What did I do to make you have to pull your guns out? So they take me out the car and point them guns at me, tell me to turn around and put my hands up. They immediately come get me, throw me on the ground, throw handcuffs on me, yank me up off the ground. I'm still asking, what's going on? Why are y'all in my car? Because a whole bunch of them, like 4 or 5 of them, rush into my car, tearing my car up. I'm telling them, I didn't give nobody permission to search my car, so why are you in my car? Just hold on, we'll explain it to you in a minute. What is it to explain? So they take me over to the side. One of these cops that was in my car come over, and he said, well, the reason we pulled you over, you were at the store, and we have a camera set up at the store, and we saw a gun inside your car. I say, so you saw a gun inside that car over there? They said, yeah, matter of fact, we found it. This is what's told me out their mouth. I said, so you found the gun in my car? Yes. They take me downtown, and they come in the interrogation room after they done left me in there about an hour, and they say, look, when you were at the store, we saw the tag on your car and we ran it. We considered you to be the registered owner of this vehicle, and we saw that you had a record or that you had just got out for possession of a firearm. At that point, it escalated, and once we got you and seen that you didn't have a gun, it de-escalated. I say, so you're telling me that because I just got out of prison for doing almost 14 years for a gun that I never shot, that was never proven to be my gun because another registered owner of that gun came to court and told them that it wasn't my gun and I had nothing to do with that gun. You're telling me that because of that, all of this was necessary? So you profiled me. Something that you said you weren't gonna never do. Something that the law says you can't do. You profiled me. Well, yes. They leave me sitting for an hour and a half, then they transport me to Central. When I get to Central, they take me in front of the magistrate. Now again, all I know is that you say you found a gun. I did have marijuana in my car. I had a couple of ounces. So I'm expecting to get charged for that, and I'm expecting to have to deal with my PO about that. I've already done accepted that fact. When I go inside the magistrate judge's room, he tells me, well, you're being charged with concealed weapon. A concealed weapon? What is the concealed weapon, Your Honor? Oh, you had a blade in your car. I had a blade that I used for landscape. That's a concealed weapon? How is it concealed when it's laying out? You're being charged with heroin. What? Where did that come from? I've never even seen heroin. How did I have a heroin charge? They took a powder that was inside a legal package, not a package that I packaged or somebody else packaged. A drug? No, it had a name on it. A chemical mix for something else that had nothing to do with drugs. And they said it was heroin. I said, so without a field test, you take something out of my car and you just put a label on it and charge me? The magistrate judge said, son, calm down. I'm letting you go. Talk to your lawyer. You have a bunch of disturbing charges that don't make sense. They'll deal with it. I go to court twice for a probable cause. Never heard of that. Never heard of that. Then finally, this lawyer who I only talked to the very first probable cause, who never answered the phone when I called, she tells me on a voicemail, December the 29th, that I hope you get this message. Oh, by the way, your charges were dismissed on the 13th. Why are you just not telling me this? And when are you going to give me back my phones? You took both my phones because you say that I had an occupied dwelling because I had heroin that I didn't have. It took me 2 months to get my phones back. You took everything so quickly, but I'll get it back. It takes forever. That makes sense. That they'll be like that, don't it? Now again, every cop that was out there were white. Were there chameleons in that crowd? Absolutely. It had to be if you make up all these bogus charges to try to get me locked up. At some point, when does the foolishness stop? I've accepted the fact that I'm probably going to get locked up again at some point. They'll find a reason. Hell, since then, I've been pulled over twice for no reason. Is it because of what I drive? Or is it because of my skin color? I mean, what is it? Why am I a walking target all the time? Understand this. It's the justice system that creates the outlaws. Well, how is that? You keep pushing, and you keep pushing, and you keep pushing, and you're pushing people that are actually trying. At some point, they say they don't give a fuck, and they start pushing back. And see, that's the worst thing when somebody like me, and there's a lot of me, don't give a fuck no more. That's when they become an outlaw, because they don't give a damn about whether they live or die. They tired of getting pushed for no reason, especially when they're trying to do the right thing. So again, we need to stop collectively bitching and complaining, and we need to try to figure out how we can make things better. Now, I know I'm talking out my ass right now, because I know it don't get better. How do you fix a system that's been flawed since its creation? The people that we have that's supposed to be fixing the system are the ones that sit up there in the White House or in the congressional halls and make all the decisions for us. I mean, we're supposed to be a democracy, not a communist country. We're supposed to be a government for the people. But it's the other way around. We don't own nothing. You think you own your home? You think you own your cars? Because you got tricked with this American dream? They can take everything from you. Things that you say you own. You can own your home outright, but they can take it because you'll never own it. You're continuously going to be paying taxes on it. And if you miss those taxes now, they'll come take that from you. Just like they can take your cars. They can take anything you possess, can be seized and taken from you. So how are we free? How is this country any different than the other communist countries? Who the hell is the HOA? Who is these people that tell me what I can and can't do in my yard, a yard that I paid for? If I plant a tree, they come tell me, you can't plant that tree now. Who in the hell is you? to tell me what I can and can't do. But they say we in the land of the free. If you're still living that illusion, they got you. But let me stop. I ain't trying to get nobody mad. I just wanted to start a conversation that made sense versus the bullshit that everybody keep talking about. Stop worrying about what another motherfucker doing. Stop being concerned about what somebody else got going on in their house. That's all we do now. Sit around and look at other people's lives and have comments about them. I don't have no comment about your life. I'm not walking in your shoes. I didn't have to go through what you went through. Same thing applies to me. I don't need nobody to have an opinion about me. You walk in my shoes, then you start talking about an opinion. You live the life I've done live, then you start having an opinion. But don't have one if you ain't walk my shoes now. Listen, I want to hear what your comments are. Let me know what you think. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because these conversations are going to keep happening. I like to have fun. I like to joke. Y'all see that about me. Anybody that knows me know that I love to see the smiles on people's faces. Because if you're smiling, it's taking you away from your pain for a little bit. Your trials and tribulations that you're going through in your day-to-day. It's doing something nice to that heart. But we also going to be talking about some seriousness too. Till next time, Raw out.